Hi there, it's Jonathan. Hope you're off to a good start today. Set yourself apart by asking real questions. Let's get into the show.
If you like this episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button.
Today, I'm going to do something that will possibly confuse you. Ask real questions. Today's topic, ask real questions. First, let's address why. The point of even talking about this is because it's something I want to solidify at this very point in my life as I'm learning to ask for help, as I'm learning to ask questions and be a true student of life, not somebody who postures as a student. It's just so funny because I want to actually be a student. So to be a student, you have to listen and you have to ask questions. For me, I'm talking from a place of truly trying to live this out. The motivation for asking real questions is so you can save time. I'm noticing in our culture and society as a whole, I talk with, probably 40 to 100 new people every single day. What I notice is a trend where even though and even when people are asking for help or asking questions about a topic you have expertise in, even in that understanding of I'm the expert here or you're the expert here, I'm the student, I know nothing, please help. Even in that dynamic, people make suggestions versus asking questions. Maybe they'll use an uptone, and I do this as well. And sometimes it's so that you don't want to perhaps sound pushy, or maybe it's due to not trying to sound just tell me the answer to this question. When you ask a real question and you don't just say a statement with a question tonality, you get to the point. You save time and you admit your need for the help from the other person. If I'm going to ask a question and it's a student-mentor relationship, I will try to ask an actual question. If I'm asking questions to gather information from a prospect, I may do that in a much more inquisitive nature versus just a hard question of yes or no. The point in I'm making this recording is it will benefit you immensely. It's my belief to ask real questions. Yes, learn how to ask suggestive questions when necessary and when fitting, but in dynamics where you are the person who needs help, ask for help. Ask a real question. When it's an already established fact that you are the expert in a field, let's just say you're that expert. Get that picture in your mind of what it is that you're an expert in. Now, consider a young student coming in and they're going to apprentice you. So now you have an apprentice. Would you rather that apprentice make suggestions to you in a question tonality instead of simply asking you a direct question? Right, I might title this episode, Stop Saying R-I-G-H-T. Stop saying comma right. If you find that you're always asking a question in that manner where you're saying a statement comma right with a question mark, but what I'm noticing is people are so scared to appear like they don't know something, but that is such a losing mentality. From interviewing over 100 successful entrepreneurs and businessmen and women, thought leaders, doctors of every different field, one of the most common threads is a true humility to be willing to recognize when you don't know. The clearest sign to real winners that people are stuck in their own head or maybe egotistical or just don't want to appear stupid, which is ego, even if you're hedging it with saying you're trying to be humble. I hope this episode helps. Stop asking fake questions and ask real questions. Be the different person. Be the person willing to look stupid. Here's a great thing. I literally said this on the phone the other day with a client. I said, mind you, in this situation, I was the expert. They were completely needing my help. I asked them a question based on something they shared with me about their company. I said, better to appear uninformed for a moment than to be uninformed long term, right? And I got that. That's a paraphrase, but that's essentially the quote from a book I was reading at the time. And this was last week, and they laughed and they loved it because they recognized, okay, he's really sincerely trying to understand. He's not posturing. When that is established, people can connect with you. You'll get where you're going faster. You get to the point faster. You establish a ton of trust because you know how many people are willing to go there? So if you're willing to do that, imagine the multiplication, the exponential growth effect that it will have on your career, your relationships, your health. When you're asking yourself questions, you're assessing your own health in every area of life. In my opinion, not just say, oh, you might want to expect everyone to be interested in your life and your situation and everything you're going through, but ask questions, take initiative, get involved, be a better listener, and ask real questions. All right, so let's say you're at an event. I'm going to an event in September. It's in Ohio. I'm very excited about it. I'll see some of you guys listening there. One thing you notice is people who are really out making a difference, making change, they almost don't talk. They almost, not all of them, but some of them, they're so focused, they so don't care, they have their ego so detached from what they're doing that they typically aren't posturing. When you find people posturing, or yourself posturing, be honest with yourself and ask if that's really what you want to do. And ask yourself, why am I doing this right now? Do I feel insecure about something, and why? I don't need to feel insecure. I'm enough as is. Even if everyone in the room is making more than me and doing better than me and older or younger than me, it doesn't matter. So ultimately, that's where this episode's coming from. Fearless.